So remember how I always say, never count the math of what you coulda, shoulda, woulda made, right? Or never look at your P&L in a way that you see it in profit, or never look in something in a way that says I only need this much money to pass. I need this much money to whatever, because it immediately, conscious or otherwise, will change your outlook on it. And so, how many times you guys, even me, guys, I will be so focused, so honed in, and I'm like, took this trade, sounds good, looks good, and then I look at it and I go, oh man, and somebody will say what, and I go, oh, I'm through my intraday. I only need $150, and then I can withdraw whatever else, and then people get excited. But what I don't tell you in my mind is immediately I'm going, I'm not going to trade that one for a little while, an hour, 2 hours, maybe that day, because now it just became real, right? It just became conscious or otherwise. I mean, I can say it doesn't, but it does. It became real, and now I'm going to be more nervous about that trade, right? Whether I try to not be or not. And you guys even heard me say, like, and it happened again to me, because, again, I don't share everything, I just share experiences with you guys. But remember, me and Cody were talking about, like, hey, hate when you're on that fifth day. I can make four $150 days, and I didn't even break a sweat. I didn't even worry about it. I'm like, oh, hit my TP, whatever. Like, it just, something about that damn fifth day, even for me, like if you were to ask me, what is your level of confidence that you can find one candle, one progression, one pattern? I have all day, guys. I only got to make $150 for the day. What's my confidence? Like, if I were to ask you guys, what do you think my confidence would be that I can make $150 on one trade, two trades, whatever I choose, in an entire day? Y'all would be like, pretty sure I could do that with ease, right? And so, but even me, it's like I had, and Cody, I love you sharing these things, and we have 7 minutes for open. I'm gonna jump in. I just like whoever's gonna come in to come in. It's Friday, so I don't really expect it to go crazy, but I love for you to kind of share your thought on this, right? Because we were having a very mental, emotional discussion in the pre-market, and so we just kind of carried it into open. But whenever you aim for that last 150, not only does it feel harder, you tend to hesitate. I watched, even myself, when I was going for that trade yesterday and the night before, I watched like 5 plays go out where I'm like, oh, close below, we should drop. Man, I don't really like that. I kind of rather be long. And then it drops, and I'm like, damn, that
I
would have
did
been it.
this morning,
Yeah, you're like,
I
that would
kept
have been it.
watching this thing go up and up and up, and I'm like,
Yeah, you're like,
because
I
it
could have
was my
been done.
last day,
Oh, this is your last day for a payout before you get into it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I got it, but
nice.
there was like two pushes that I was just like,
Uh huh. And so when I did mine yesterday, I watched like 3 or 4 plays play out that I would have easily had it, and I just let them go, right? And normally, y'all know me, I don't hesitate, and but it becomes real, right? And so I finally chose one. I lowered my volume a little to give me more room, and because now I got to have a further TP, and when I did my trade, uh, because I had the further TP, it got pretty close to my TP. Would have hit my TP if I did my normal volume. Then it reversed on me, and I'm like, you mother. I'm not crazy volume, so I'm not really worried about it, right? And then I look over, and I'm getting a little more negative, right? Now I had like 6K equity in it, right? So I'm not really worried because I'm in there in the micros, and so. But you go negative $100, like damn, negative $200, like are you freaking kidding me? Like I missed my TP by like a minute. Let me DCS. And then you do the DCA, and then it comes down, and it just missed my TP again. And I'm like, get out of here, right? So now I'm like looking at it, and I got out of it. I wasn't really ever like stressed, but I'm like, why is this last one so hard? Right? And it's not that it's so hard. It, it's one, I probably hesitated. Two, I adjusted my volume because I had a mild amount of fear in there, right? Because it came real. And in 3, that probably happens to me more times than I pay attention to, because normally I just don't care. I'm just like, it'll hit, whatever, and I'm just going about my day. Because it's real, I'm watching it, I'm calculating it, I'm analyzing it. Yeah, see, guys, the pre-market kind of pull. I want to see how deep that goes. But does that make sense? And so that's kind of like the same discussion I have with many of you, where you're like, man, I do well in the sim, but I suck at this or suck at that. It's not the sim, it's not the brokerage, it's not the, like, I've had so many one-on-ones that are like, oh, I don't use this broker or this prop firm anymore because they suck. I just can't seem to pass them. I mean, there's some that have stupid rules, but probably not the prop firm, right? There's emotional connections in there, and so these are all the emotional battles that y'all got to get through, right? And everybody goes through. I still go through it, right? How many of you guys, and I'm finishing a discussion we had in the mentor group, and so I'll box it up here in a second, but we have market open in 3 minutes. No chance I'm trading market open right now. Not when we're near the other all-time high area. With this explosiveness, we could fall all the way back down here, or we could just pull back and rip, right? And so I got to see what this thing does before I'm making any decisions. So just gonna finish that. So how many times do you guys have a TP and it comes down and just misses it and then jumps, and you're like, why does this thing love to miss my TP? It knows where my TP is. The market doesn't really know. I mean, they know, but they don't really know, and they don't care about yours because it's on a sim. But that same thing happens all the way. It goes, jumps, goes, jumps, goes, jumps, goes, jumps. We just don't notice it because we don't care, because it's not near it. It's when it gets near it and it starts jumping, and you're like, come on, right? And then we just build up that emotional, like, the market hates me, right? Again, you don't notice things are doing it until it becomes important enough to notice that it's doing it, but it's probably always doing it. So it just changes, right? That state. So kind of in that thought of that's something I've taken myself as an approach, is if I can remain unemotional, I'm not worried about the profit, I'm not thinking about it as real money, I'm not thinking about it, I'm doing TA, and I'm making decisions on it based on my TA. That is what I need to do. And for me, the moment I look at it and I'm like, oh man, I could have $800 in my account tomorrow, I'm like, why did I do that? I'm not trading that one anymore. Right? Oh, you're good, Brent. I'll glance over. Anybody else on the TikTok that's in this room? I can add you as a moderator if you want to just kind of watch it, but if not, it's fine. I'll just glance at it every now and then. Oh, but I don't mind you guys. Anybody that's in this Google Meet that's been around for
I
a
can
bit.
pull it up if you need me to.
Well, it's more, uh, when people start posting stupid stuff, because I tend to get more attacked with the bots lately. With the join my Telegram, all I do is win. Doesn't sound suspicious at all. So, guys, we do have Neo. I have some great things to talk about with Neo. He's got some amazing guidance. He's getting very detailed. We're working on getting him to recognize trend lines, which is being a little more difficult than we thought. We had him identify a trend line in pre-market. We went in to validate it, and let's just say he's got work to do on the trend lines. So we're still working through the trend lines. But we're getting there. Once I get him to recognize a trend line consistently, and they're good trend lines, man, what that unlocks is going to be sick. So, I'm not going to go deep into all of the high time frame stuff. We have some lines here you can see there. We're trying to see if that's relevant. Got fill. Let's look at the market open. I will tell you all, anybody, whether you're following on TikTok, YouTube, or in this session, today is a day that you want to, again, lower volume, be patient. There's going to be a million fake outs, right? And so why, I will share it quickly while this is doing its open thing. There is 2 ways to look at our all-time high. My prior all-time high read was here because I trade with the B80J off. If I put the B80J on, right, and I go out, now the all-time high is there, right? So I like to know both levels. So anything that is near there, I traded it like an all-time high. Anything that's near here, I'm going to trade it like it's an all-time high. And so the logic and the conditioning that I had told y'all before doesn't change, right? So we got to be really careful. My mentor group, I explained a strategy that I was using. I'm not going to really share it detailed right now with you guys because I'm playing with it. But the mentor group that gets a little extra sauce, right? A little special sauce. And so the one thing you can see that we did identify, or I was telling them, is this is now a range. Let me ask y'all in the mentor group. Be honest, and I know Cody, you'll be honest with this. How cool is my $50 away calculation? Isn't that crazy?
I love that thing.
It's not. There's no special algorithm, guys. You know, it's literally wherever your significance is, it's $50 away. It's. I back tested the shit out of this when we did it when we were developing that one for the mentor group, and this thing loves to hit that box. And it's funny because if you think about it, there really is nothing else up here. I mean, I don't think I'll have to look at the stuff, but there's really no technical reason why it stopped right there, right? And so you think about it, this has done this so many times just through that calculation. Now this red box here will be an absolute no trade zone. Anything in this box or near this box, I'm not taking longs because of that can happen, right? Um, anything that breaches into here, no trade. Anything out of here, I'm only long. Anything back in on a reclaim, I'm only short, but not in the red box. It'll be on a red claim out, right? Because otherwise it ends up being a push, fake out, push, right? You might have missed that part that I said there, Brent. So let me show you again. The that level of the 864. Sorry, my voice has been. I need the weekend. When I come out here, my all-time high is there. If I turn the B80J on, my all-time high is there, right? Because it's a difference between blending in the contracts, right? Continuations and not. So I like to measure both of them. And so that's the only ceiling that we really have that I can identify, which is why I'm cool with putting it there, because I have no other way to identify a ceiling up there. There's no trend lines, there's nothing. It seems to have worked well because we bounced or rejected right off of my $50 line that I do. I love to see this happening. I'm just going to touch on it quickly and then we'll jump more into TA. You can see this is not market open. This is 5 minutes to market open.
Hello, I'm Neo. Let's capture the move.
And this is market open. Right out the gate, right before market open, he says, nope, I'm bearish. And he explained why. Even on market open, he goes, nope, I'm bearish. Very cool to see it do that, right? And so you guys can see as it came through, we did a little kind of push and then we kind of had that pull. So pretty cool to see that. You can see there was periods that he was bullish, but it was likely in those areas, right? And so he's been pretty spot on when it comes to market open. I'm actually pretty impressed. I've been studying it, and I'm going to keep watching him because I get a little nervous that I'm letting him throw TA right at 9:30 because he can't see that 9:30 candle, right? He just sees before. But I don't know if any of you have been watching that. He's pretty accurate. If whatever that call is right at 9:30, bearish or bullish, or the one right before, we sweep, but we tend to go that way. It's pretty cool to see that. And that's what I'm looking at too, right, with him. So I will let him do some talking through the session so y'all can see that. If you guys want to watch it, especially if you're on TikTok, you just come in. Let me refresh it because when you come in.
Hello, I'm Neo. Let's capture the move.
You're going to see open session. You can join in for free if you want to come in to the Google Meet that we're already on. You just click it and then click start session and you're in. It's really easy. There's nothing crazy. You don't have to do anything. Don't have to link a credit card. Don't have to pay anything. You just literally register for free, come in, and you can watch real time. If you want to watch Neo, he's also free. You just click on him like that.
Hello, I'm Neo.
Click on the
Let's
page.
capture the move.
Capture the move. I love that. And he's going to give you the guidance. So I'm going to have him muted because I want to kind of guide through a little as well. But if you want to watch them, you guys can do that. And then I'll unmute them once we get through maybe the ORB or after that. So let's look. Let me expand that because I just saw something real quick. Let's look at our risks. Let's look at possibilities. I'm going to bring this one all the way back like that. So there's a pretty decent uptrend like that. That even if we pull all the way down here, if we bounce here and reclaim this, that move is going to be pretty violent, right? I would caution or be really careful taking shorts up here because we've watched multiple times that out of nowhere we would just get massive explosions. These white lines here are actually critical. I only put them white because they're based on one thing and today. That's my color coding system. They're critical. If we are staying above these white lines, this is based off of a, I think it was the daily, no, not the daily, 1 hour or 4 hour doji setup where we had a push, doji, it's close above, we go up, close below, we go down. So as long as we stay above that line, I'm looking more pullback, go long. I'm probably not looking much short. If we start to get bearish things popping up and we breach that and we go south and we break back into this, I'm either not trading, waiting for a reclaim on a fake out, or I'm going to let this, kind of come in, bounce, and then I might look for possible shorts within that, right? But anything that is above this prior all-time high is really dangerous to short, so I would recommend doing more short scalps. I wouldn't, yeah, look at already. Gold, click my bio. All I need is your bank account information. But yeah, I don't know if anybody's on the TikTok if you want to help with this. I just hate when they get on there and start doing stupid things. On there, let me see. I see Savvy here on there. Let's see. I'm gonna make you a moderator, Savvy. So if you happen to see anything, block them for me. Get them. So that way I can just kind of keep focused on this because I don't want people. You guys know I really get worried about people clicking on things that. Yeah, I get worried that people are gonna be stupid and click on things. Yeah, that's what I was doing on that. So Savvy's gonna help on that for now. Appreciate it. All right, that way I can stay focused because I don't want to get distracted on it, but I get worried that people are in there clicking on things that everybody does it. So anyways, let's just start analyzing this. We know our risks, we know our direction, we know the momentum. So now we want to bring on the indicators. Let's look at the micro. So the old things should do what they should be doing. Kind of a head and shoulder feel. Didn't really quite get the shoulder and just collapsed. It's market open, so it doesn't have to be perfect. We ended up hitting our 200 here. You can see we kind of created a doji setup, got the close below, pushed into the 200 because of it, into 2 hammers. The close above that is going to try to pressure back to Lisma. We look left, we see we have the doji again, we're internal, kind of like I was saying earlier. Close above that should bring at least a breach wick, right? Then we want to see what is the micro doing and the macro. So macro, if we zoom out, obviously very, very bullish. We got a pullback from the low of this run is here to the push there. We're almost identically halfway, right? On the macro, this halfway pull also is where the prior highs are. So it's no surprise that we're bouncing. So from my macro thought, as long as we stay above kind of 34, 32, 35, somewhere in here, right? I don't want to really short that because we have run the risk of really jumping. Because now we're push, halfway reclaim, we could push again. If we end up breaching on the macro below that high, anywhere into here, then we want to be really careful taking longs because now we've lost our macro support, suggesting that we're going up. So then I want to so right now we are in a bullish uptrend because we're still higher low, but we are very bearish on the macro as of now. Kind of getting a little bounce, so we want to see how is the micro handling that. So the 1 minute y'all can see is trying to form a little inverse head and shoulder. This is awesome because if we get the close above, that should propel. If it does, that is a bullish pattern and structure that is played out, which is good for our support of the possible push. If this forms this bullish thing and then we just sweep it, that should be a red flag because we are instantly invalidating a bullish thing on the 1 minute telling you that we're likely going to have continued weakness on the 5. So we go into here. Let's see if we have anything else. We have a push. We're starting to create a parallel. This was a double top, right? At one point, potential. If this was going to double top, why didn't we just drop to there or there and then retest, right? For the drop. Instead, we're dojiing. Doesn't really scream super bearish, right? Oh yeah, thanks for that. We're creating a trap here as well, guys. On the one, which is usually a short trap, long play, right? So if this was going to be really bearish, this should have dropped there. Now we're still in the ORB setting because of the first, 15 minutes. And so it's still in manipulation mode, right? So this could give us a bearish pattern and validate it into a bullish pattern and validate it, right? Anytime in that first 15 minutes, there could be a lot of manipulation. So now I want to look at my indicators and say, okay, where's my indicators? Well, I got a buy. Got my inverse head and shoulder here. It looks like we're going to push up from it, right? As it pushes up in the micro, we got dojis, we got the sweep wick, close above, and it's going to jump up. But we haven't confirmed that yet, right? We're not confirmed on the micro yet. We did get a buy there, but we do have sells here. We don't even have a buy there yet. I would really like to have some kind of buy here, preferably, right? But as it's setting up, right, it should push, but it is struggling here. Y'all see that struggle that it's doing? So because that's struggling there, it should bring up a little more caution, right, on that. So let's watch and see if we get any kind of bounce, because we're still in compression, or does it break down, right? Because then that would be our bullish pattern broken down.
Right? Hey, Nick.
Yeah.
At what time does, the doji and the close above doji on Heikin-Ashi, at what time of day does that really become effective? Because I know there's like a lot of manipulation with volume first thing in the morning.
I mean, that logic always applies, right? But it's not as simple as that. We got to know where we are, time frame, indicators, pattern. All of the stuff that it's doing matters, right? It makes a big difference. Look at this sweeps, guys. Insane. The bears are really fighting this. So let's see if the bulls can push and power through. Let's see, the bears are trying. They're fighting. Let me look at something. So this matters. We got a hammer into dojis. Supports more propulsion. Right? See that? We also have the push. This is something we were talking about in the mentor group, right? Is we're seeing a lot of these like rectangle patterns that tend to play more north than south, right? Now let's analyze this. We have a lot of indecision. We have absorption to the north, and we got to close above. That should have enough steam to create a pretty good higher high. It's struggling to do that. So I'm showing strength on the micro because of that. But if we show strength, but we're not strong enough to really push it to get the close above these highs, right, to the left, they're not as strong as they plan out to be, right? They're not as strong as they're acting. And so, see here, we got a higher high, but it didn't get the close above. That close above, looking left, is so critical, right? And so now, let's keep analyzing. We got here. We have the doji, high, low, close above. We should go to there. We're in a very tricky area because you guys know one of my core rules is Lisma and 200 on the 1 minute. 200's here, Lisma's here. We're dead ass in the middle. It's going to go to 1. You gotta break it down to figure out which one, right? If you're long, right, you would want to kind of wait for either a micro breakout and you can scalp it there, or you want to do a breach wick, close above, and then go there. Now that gets dangerous into there. If I'm short, or if I'm long, the other way you would do it is I would almost want to pull back, push, and then I would take it back to Lisma, right? Something like that. Now, I'm doing a test on kind of micro scalping, high volume. And so I was talking to the mentor group about that today. And so I don't need much room for it to do it, but I have to be right. I can't afford a pullback. Like if I were to try to enter here and, higher volume and it just swept me once, it could wipe the account and then be right. Right? That could sweep me. So I got to be really careful when I choose to enter this. So, but right now we don't really know, right? Because we know we have a bullish pattern structure that's trying to test the neckline. We know that the 5-minute has now created a doji, so close above 720, we're going up. Close below 676, we're dumping, right? We don't really know. See that sweep? Look at that sweep. Like that one sweep, man, you'd be toast if you tried to take that, right? And so let's see if we get the bounce. Because remember I was saying, you're looking for the sweep and then the bounce, right? So I'm going to watch this on the micro and see if we get any kind of bounce here. Any kind of pressure. So for me, doing micro scalps, remember how we treat this in the mentor group? If we get a compression that breaks south, reclaims the low, reclaims the high, that creates crazy propulsion. But it's got to reclaim those, right? If it doesn't reclaim those, we could see a lot further downside, right? So let me look at something. Okay. Now you can see we're still in full breakdown, which is fine. Any high or low here, again, a reclaim is going to be pretty violent. For me to be pretty bearish, let's look out because we don't want to get tunnel vision, right? We have somewhat of a ugly looking bearish pattern. I would need to see this kind of breach this area into here, back internal of that doji we were watching. If we breach here, right, a lot of times this structure, it's barely out of the ORB, so I'm not sure it's going to play out. But you guys remember in the mentor group, I've talked about this structure. Typically when it breaks down, if we can't break that high right there and it stays here, it almost like 80 to 90% of the time it creates a lower low. Right? Now, again, those structures, those rules may change depending when you're applying them. And we're barely outside the ORB setting, and so for them to do a sweep or a trap and then shoot it north could be, right? Because remember, we're in a trap kind of area of the day. And so if you think about it, coming off of here, a lot of people are going to be looking for a short because we're way over pushed. Maybe they're going to set up a bear trap, right? And then spring it, right? And that's why anything above 562, I'm really not interested in shorting. And guys, again, I always preach it. You got to keep your FOMO aside, right? If your FOMO is in there, you're going to get wrecked. So the FOMO in me, would say, man, this breaks this, I'm going down, and it may break it and go down, and I could look at that and go, dang, I called it. But if it's not within your realm of what you planned, it's probably not a good idea, right? So remember what I said, breach, reclaim of these two things tends to jump. So just kind of be ready. You should probably not be shorting. If you want a safer play within, then you're probably going to want to wait till you get a breach here, close above, right, to do a little scalp. The safer play really would be a breach wick there and a push because you have more OA to retest that upper, right? Is what you would look for. But also, by the time you get up there, again, remember you're really close into there, so you're only scalping. You're not looking at it as a big run. I'm not doing big runs on any of my trades today, guys. I'm literally actually micro scalping. I'm looking for $5 to $7 moves. That's it. I'm in, I'm out, high volume. I'm
That's
doing
what
more.
I'm doing.
I'm doing more
Taking
momentum.
$13.
What?
I said I'm doing the biggest one I've taken so far is $13.
Yeah, I actually have a static TP. I'm testing a theory through intraday, and so far it's worked. I've hit my TP every time. I have not hit it, and I'm up 2,000 right now. And almost through it. I only need one more trade, right? Because I lowered my volume on it from what I was telling y'all in the morning. So I just need one more $5 trade, and I've just proven what I was teaching in the mentor group, how quickly I can power it. And actually, there it goes. I took the momentum on that one, and it went. See here when we got the close above, right? I entered it, and all I needed is from there to there, $5. And so I am now through the intraday. I'm at 21.22, guys, and I just started that this morning with the mentor group. So uh, I don't know. I might be onto something on this, right? Now I'm gonna tell y'all that it's not as easy as it sounds. So to do it because I have to be right. The volume that I'm using early on, I was doing it with 3NQ, guys, and so if you're wrong, even a little bit is gone. But when I got over 1500, or I didn't do this, but I would like normally I might do it this way. Like if I get over 2000 or 1000, then I'll go to 2NQ. Then I go, when I got to about 1800, I went down to 1NQ because now I have more room to be a little wrong, right? Yeah, and so I powered through the intraday. It worked. So I have 3 that I'm doing. I have that one. I have one at 9, one at 300. So for the fun of transparency, when y'all have mentors or people in the room that throw out these accusations, make sure they do that to show you 2100, 900, and 300. Right? I'm not making up numbers to make it sound cool. And these are all funded ones. So I have one that is now through intraday. Now, I just talked about this rule, and so I do stand by it. Because I was aiming to just get to that through the intraday, it's Friday. I now have an account set up to be payable. I have 2 others to work on. I have no interest in taking anything on that account. I'm going to go to this other one, and I'm going to do it on that one. So I'm at 900, so I'll probably use 2NQ, and I'm going to just be patient. And so I'm not going to teach this in the open session because I may not even, for a bit, teach it in the development session, right? Because the mentor group they're a group of people that not only I'm taking under my wing, but they help me, right? I basically, those that are in it will tell you I kind of overshare, and I'm explaining what I'm thinking, what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and I love their feedback. It's awesome. And so as I'm trying to figure out things, as I come up with a new idea, a new strategy, I'm always thinking of ways to help you guys, right, to make it easier. And the mentor group just gets that first. So anybody interested in the mentor group, even if you are concerned on the price of what it costs, right, just let's have a discussion. So you just go into the mentor program and then schedule. And you guys can see we're growing. We're at 40 out of 50. So I have 10 spots left and 6 more interviews that I'm trying to schedule. So we're just kind of trying to figure out the schedule. So probably try next week. So that really leaves like 4 spots. And I don't mean to be dramatic with it because I don't want to sales pitch it or make it sound sales pitchy. When this number gets 50, I will not take any more. Pretty much ever, probably, but I don't like putting the words ever. At least for this year, I will never go above 50. If I get tools, maybe Paul starts to become a master, trader, comfortable with taking people under their wing, or who knows? Maybe Cody's in there like, I got it, give me 50, right? I don't know. We work out a deal, and then I can expand it because I want to mentor as many people as possible, but I'm cool with the number of 50 because I worked for AT&T for 15 years as a field manager, and anybody who knows or has worked for AT&T, they have no problem giving you 40 to 50 technicians and saying, hey, go do this and manage it. So managing that number is not really something I'm not normal or comfortable with, right? So, but I will not go over 50. So if maybe now's not a good time, whatever, but you're just even kind of interested, let's get on the call and talk about it, guys, is all. But once that gets 50, it just becomes a waiting list on that. So moving into this, guys, you guys can see nice little double bottom bounce off the 200. My concerns about this push here, this is a great hammer off the 200 with a push, here's our neckline of what would be arguably slightly higher time frame, maybe a 2 minute double bottom, and we closed above it, right? And then we lost that neckline like instantly. The close above it at no point had enough strength to breach wick even our Lisma, which, as you guys know, I love. Like, why are we not breach wicking it? We tried to come down into an absorption hammer style candle, which does not also show weakness. So this does not show strength, but this does not show weakness, which means there's trap coming. I don't know really which way it is yet, right? Because our long should have did that right there. One of these candles, it just should have. Our short, when it invalidated, should have came back down here, or at least deeply breach wicked our trend line, and it didn't. And it not only didn't, but it jumped right off of an old trend line that we have in there. So again, it's not showing strength, but it's not showing weakness. So the bulls are going to go, you know, we collapse this, but still think it's going up. The bears are going to say, you know, or the bulls are excited because this is strong enough to revalidate it, and the bears are going, we just collapsed your double bottom, we're dropping it. And right now both of them are right. Now this is where I, in my strategy, I look at the dom. I'm going to look over and go, we're getting dom jumps, not dom drops. That tells me order flow pressure is building northern, not southern, and that typically sets up a southern trap into a northern push if that happens, right? We also, this is why people, I love this argument on TikTok with a few that, you know, you don't need to look at multi-time frame. You don't need to look at a 15-second. It's too fast. It's going to confuse you. It confuses you because you don't know how to interpret it. But if you know how to interpret it, I've proven over and over with you guys that we can see this doing things it should or shouldn't do before the macro or 1 minute would ever see it, right? Because we know how to interpret it. And so that it's like having a crystal ball into somewhat of the future, right? Because I can see what it's going to do before the macro move actually does it. And we've seen that, was it yesterday or the day before? I don't know. My days running into each other. Remember we had a bearish structure, but I'm like, why are we getting all these wicks? Why are we getting all these hammers in a bearish structure that's about to dump? Don't make sense. Why are we getting dom jumps? Seeing that jump, and then bam, we just went to the moon and validated it. I'm like, see? You can't see that looking at that. You can only see it on the 15-second, right? So as we're analyzing this, guys, and I'm not even remotely trying to overtrade this, so that's why I'm more like, you know what, let's just make this a little bonus education and a little free education for people that are on TikTok or watching the video later on. But that's kind of how I think about it, guys. Talk about it, how I trade it. Let's look at a couple indicators where we're at, momentum, candles, all that. So the trap, we did have a trap call here, right? So this was actually kind of where we did it. And then it came, kind of invalidated it, then it reclaimed it, it pushed up. I'm still arguably thinking that that played out fine, right? Because we did push up pretty good out of the trap. It was about a good $40 almost push. Now the trap indicator is getting a little confused because it's saying, I'm thinking that this might actually be more of a trap push north, which then would send us south. If we push above here, which is like 740, 740-ish, that tells me that that will invalidate that. That if we have two traps that get invalidated, this trap thing's pretty spot on, right? But that'll tell you how unpredictable this market is right now. It is a very dangerous area to trade, just like it was yesterday, because you're going to get a lot of whipsaw, meaning we're going to get a lot of like push, 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 pew, down, and you're like, shit, right? If you don't trail that quickly, you're hosed. Part of what I'll tell you on my strategy is I'm using an ATM because of that. I don't want to get caught fast on an intraday. There was actually a candle in pre-market, we were talking about it, and I was explaining that, and it like shot up and then shot down. And we did the math, and I'm like, yep, I'd have about $200 in drawdown right now, instantly, before I could have even tried to trail it, because it literally went right. And so that's why I'm big on doing that through the intraday. So You guys can see my theory of the bears not winning likely between the dom jumps we were doing plus the hammer we're creating. Even though our possible, double bottom of setup, didn't really play right at first, you can almost kind of, it's not pretty, right? Maybe you could argue there's a mini shoulder, mini head. We just created another mini shoulder, and it's more inverse head and shoulder, right? I mean, pretty decent argument, right, on that. So when we look at this, we're getting the pressure we need. We're now playing out the pattern we want. We have the breech wick, close above there, should give some propulsion. Our only concern, it would be at 770 here, that we could find some resistance, right? We know when we usually get the breech wicks, we do get some kind of rear back. That could be this neckline that it rears back to. Is possible, right? And so we're not quite through on our micro. We could put a little micro trend line if it has enough strength to breach this, which it looks like it does so far. I haven't seen an indication it won't, but little dom drop there. Did you guys see that in the corner of my eye? That could pull us to there, right? Anything, if this is going to be more bullish in the 1 minute bullish pattern, there's no chance this should break that trend line. So if we breach wick this, come over and close below it, probably shouldn't have done that, right? And so based on what the 1 minute's doing. Now, if you look at the 5, we're supporting our theory too, because we have a drop, doji, here's our doji, high, low. We never got close below the low. We ended up instead creating like absorption to the north, and now it's trying to close above the high of the doji, which is 1 minute 40 seconds. Right, and so that would solidify more of a push than a pull, right? So but we gotta still watch the micro, because if this is setting up a high probability for a bigger push to create a higher high, this should still be doing bullish things. Now we have a push with a good absorption north, kind of a bull flag, did play out. We are holding the prior high. If we can hold this trend line, it should breach wick that. If we come down and breach wick that quickly, and we close below, it's going to collapse, right? And we'll come all the way back down to here. And then that's when I just kind of pivot to the dom. What's the dom doing? Is what I do on that. So I'm going to go to the dom and say, okay, is my dom doing bullish things, or is it doing bearish things, right? Are we doing a tick-tick jump or tick-tick drop, right? We had some drops in there, and then now we're seeing micro jumps with it, nothing crazy, so let's watch it. I kind of watch it out of the corner of my eye, but I'm going to stare at it for a second because I need to see, because we're so near a resistance, right, but we're also in a pattern that should explode. So see that jump north? Watch it. See the pressure? There it goes. So it hit my little $5 TP on that one. So my second one I'm trying to push through intraday. I'm at 1200. So I need to do probably maybe 4 to 5 more trades, I think. So I'm going to probably lower my volume to the 1 NQ now, because I'm close enough that I don't really have to push it, and I've already got one, right? So my plan for me on these 3, because I've already finished my other ones, is if I can get these 3 through intraday. I may not even push for a payout tonight, guys, because now I have a Friday that I have built 3 accounts that I push through intraday, and I'm set up amazing for my Sunday trading. Those in the mentor group trade with me on Sunday Asia most of the time, and they will tell you we usually don't walk away Sunday Asia red. I don't know, like, guys, I mean, I don't know if individually you did or not, but I don't think we've missed the calls where we've all walked away red, right? Keep me honest. Anybody? Cody? Somebody? Don't be making people on TikTok think I'm talking to nobody. Just kidding, guys. I don't have a community. I'm in here by myself.
What'd you say?
No, we come out green almost every
I think it's
Asia.
I don't know that we've had a straight up red Asia Sunday. I think we've been green every time. Yeah. Thank you, Cody. You know, this is why y'all wonder
I'm
why
just not
Cody's my
good at
favorite.
Asia, that's why.
Yeah, but Sunday Asia. No, you guys wonder why Cody's my favorite, man. He answers questions. You guys out there like, I don't want to say nothing. No, it's okay. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Feel like I
no,
talked
no,
too much.
I'm still here. Sunday
It's-
moves a lot. Sunday moves a lot slower than like
The
the week.
U.S. It's slower than U.S. but faster than normal Asia. That's why I like it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but you know, when y'all don't talk, you know, you kind of get to that point where people on TikTok think that you're not real. Kind of like you guys with Alex. I mean, I'm pretty sure in the back of your mind that you're like, has anybody ever seen Alex? Anybody ever heard Alex? Like, I don't know. Maybe Neo's Alex. Maybe Nick's Alex. Like, does he exist? He's the Wizard of Oz. Nobody ever knows him. You got to be like super high classified VIP before you get to speak without. No, he's just
I
He's
can
the
testify Alex is real.
yeah. Scott's talked to Alex. He is there, guys. I don't make up Alex. I'm not out here just making things up.
He's
No,
a real person and he's brilliant.
I think I've met
absolutely.
Alex maybe once or twice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
He's
think yeah.
mysterious.
Oh, he's all business. He's a programmer, guys. Like y'all out there in TikTok or whoever's just watching this, right? You programmers are very literal people, right? And uh, you know, we met a long time ago, you know, playing video games and such, and you know, he'll play games, have fun, laugh, and all that at times, but he's easily the hardest. And I've met a lot of people. I've managed a lot of people. He's the hardest working person I've ever met in my life, even more than me. He blows like you all see how much I work. I mean, the hours I put in, and he makes what I do look like I'm part time. Like this dude just an absolute workhorse. Like I will call him on Saturday, Sunday. Like man, what do you got doing with the family? Like man, I'm working. You know that. I'm always working. Always doing this. Like there is no Monday through Friday for this dude. And even when I tell his ass, like it's Sunday, take it off. Like chill. We're good, man. We built a lot of shit in 3 weeks. He's like, all right, man. Yeah, we're good. And then Sunday night he's texting me, hey man, I fixed Neo on this. I added this. I went ahead and adjusted this. We should be good on this. I'm like, bro, you were supposed to be off. Like what? I mean, the drive in that dude is just ridiculous, right? And so
Hey Nick, it's kind of like the weekend when you're gonna do this and have all the plans,
yeah.
and you see the Texas coming across on Saturday, and I'm going, man, you guys don't ever
We don't ever stop.
take time.
Right, Paul? Paul knows, you know. But the beauty is, Paul and I are in the same page where it don't matter if it's Sunday midnight, 6 a.m. Shoot, I'm still trying to call him. Like, Paul, I got an idea.
Where did the name Bags come from?
Bags? You want to explain that?
Yeah.
Bags? You want to tell him Bags?
There were two Pauls at a location, and my manager used my last name.
They don't know
And
your last
shortened
name,
it.
so that's
Yeah.
fine. You want me to
And they
pronounce it?
used-
I'll butcher it. It's fun. I've been butchering it for years.
I just thought it was Paul Blart.
Paul Bart Blart.
Mall.
His last name.
Mall cop.
His last name has Bags in it, right? And everybody and their mama pronounces it wrong. It would be kind of fun, Paul. You should type it in there, and I want to just hear people pronounce it because I butcher it. I've known Paul for I don't even 19 years, and I still get it wrong
Yeah.
all the time. He's like,
Don't
yeah,
do it, Paul. It's a scam.
I stay secret.
yeah, I know. He's like, this is
Fine.
classified. You could just call me B. I'm Paul B.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, so back. And guys, this is not the greatest range to trade here. We are holding our trend line if you're looking for a trade. Not a bad OA trade. If you get a breach wick close, we're going to likely come back and test that. Very dangerous being near this. Keep it close, trail it tight, but it could, right? Now, the fear of this, before I finish my thing, is we have our double bottom. We identified the bullish push. I already got my 2 trades in there. I haven't taken another one. I'm still at 1,200. But I don't want to take this. Although I think we're going to push this. This is a dangerous setup because what ends up happening on these type of plays or these type of structures is think of the halfway, right? Which is almost right there. See, we have a drop, halfway reclaim, we tried to drop again. We just reclaimed the halfway. That should explode us, even into a higher high. It just should. However, if we fail to create a higher high at any point and we reclaim that halfway, that drop is just nasty. Because it's just a lower high, right? And a larger structure off of an area that arguably should resist, right? And so now you get conflict, right? And this is where you'll see Neo say things like we're conflicted and blah blah blah, because structure wise we should push, should create a higher high, right? But knowing where we are, any kind of lower high here is going to be just seen as absolute weakness, and that trap play is going to be pretty deep. And so you don't need to be afraid of trading it, but you just need to know that you don't have a lot of room. Right? By the time we close here, it's going to be 80, and then you only got till about here, which is it's $30. But, you're kind of playing with a little fire on it, right? So for me, before I take anything else on this one, I would almost need it to fail, break down, and then get a reclaim, and then I'll take the reclaim. Kind of like I told you back here. Where was it? Right there. Remember when I told you guys this, and I teach this in the development program too. When you get a push into compression, we lose the compression. That reclaim of that compression usually is pretty violent, right? Now in this instance, because we were still kind of getting out of the ORB setup, we pushed it, they swept it, but the overall logic still played, right? But we are at now the micro. See, we're breaking down. We have a pretty deep breach wick on the Lisma back. We reared back. A close below there is going to pull this down, and then my fear of the lower high ends up validating, right? And that's why when oh yeah, I just saw your TikTok thing. Yeah, I appreciate the posting that. That's why when I tell you, you cannot be a singular trader. I kind of made up the term, and I kind of like it, so I'm gonna keep using it. But being a 360 trader, I can be a top and bottom trader, but I can still take continuations depending on my strategy. I can be a continuation trader and still take top and bottom traders depending on my strategy, because you might be a continuation trader and get wrecked because you're trying to force continuations when they're not really a continuation day. And that's why it's funny. I use the example like me and Paul. Paul is self-identified after 2 years of trading that he loves continuation. He sees them better. He likes the momentum. He likes the order flow, continuation. I'm in. I see it. I like it. I'll still trade it because I do both. But I'm more comfortable as if I'm going long, I want to see a pull. Right? That's your top and bottom. I want to see a pull, and then I'm going back to top. Or I want to see a push, and I'm going back to bottom. And it's funny because, Paul, like you probably even agree, there's some days where I'll call and be like, dude, today was spot on. I crushed it. And he's like, yeah, kind of got my ass whipped today. And then there's some days that I'll be like, today kind of sucked. I didn't trade much. It's not my day. He's like, dude, I got like past like 4 things and got 2 payouts coming, and it was great. What are you talking about? And I'm like, because it was a continuation day. It played into your strength, right? And I share those things, right? Because it doesn't matter if you take the long or the short, as long as you're green and you identified the way, right, that is more comfortable for you. That's the most important. So and what is a good day today for some might be a bad day for others, right? Yeah, the Friday pump and dump, I think it may, but I think you're going to be surprised, guys. Who helped me fix this last time? You see this doing this when I hard press, it does that little pop-up, and there's a setting. I gotta fix this, guys, otherwise I'm gonna go bananas. It's somewhere in here. It has to be. Oh, I reset my thing to default because I was helping teach somebody something, and I totally forgot about that one, and I don't remember where to do it. But it was somewhere in here. Somebody was like, you have to uncheck something that says press and hold. Yeah, ask Neo. Neo knows how to trade, not trading view. He's going to be like, I don't know, but it looks like it could be resistance. No. Plus, but,
That was good.
right? So it's something in here. Maybe. No. Oh, y'all, that's going to drive me nuts, especially now. Anybody out here that has any form of dealing with like ADHD stuff like I do, it's like a...
Oh, I know what it is. It's an operator error.
It could be. It's kind of like the itch that you don't know about, you don't worry about, but boy, once I notice it, like anybody who deals with that kind of stuff, right, you know what I mean, where like I will sit here and not notice something and I'm cool with it. But like, I'll give you an example. I'll watch TV, with my wife, not often lately because I'm busy, but I'll sit there and watch a show. Corner of my eye, I'm like, who put that, McDonald's bag on the table and didn't throw it away? And I'm like, all right, I'll get it later. And then I'm like, I gotta just get it and go put that. I gotta go throw it away right now because I know it's there. It's like it's on my mind. I can't stop thinking about it. I just need to be done with it. So that's how my crazy mind works. And so when I see like I've kind of seen this, but it hasn't really bothered me until it did to me like 3 times in a row. And now I'm like, I don't want to waste all your guys' time trying to figure this out. So I will not push it too bad. But I'm gonna look. If anybody knows how to do, let me know. Format, yeah. /format C drive. Boom. Oh yeah, that was actually my fix to a lot of things when I was building my computers.
You got to go into your menu,
Which menu?
your DOS menu.
Yeah. You got to go into the BIOS, guys. I don't know where it is. This is gonna drive me bananas though. So I will definitely figure this out at some point. If anybody is on the side and you want to look at it, like Paul. I'm just kidding. Let me know. All it is when I'm pushing.
What are you looking for?
So when I'm pushing on the screen, I'm hard pushing, and it brings up all these stupid ass values.
Oh.
And I don't want that because when I'm dragging my screen, I grab it and I drag it, and then it does that, and I'm like, you mother, because I like to go fast, right? So when I do it quickly, it works, but when I hard press it and before I move it, then it does that, and I'm like, it gets on my nerves. And I couldn't figure out how to fix it a while ago, and somebody was like, go here, and I'm like, I didn't even know that was there. And I don't claim to know everything about trading, you guys. Go lay down. You are not ready to go for any walk. My dog is already coming up to me like, we done yet? No, we're not done yet. All right, anyways, I'll let you look at that. I'll do my best to just ignore it for now. We're at 10:20, still got a little time, guys. We did get the push that I was expecting. Didn't quite go as high because remember I told y'all I had concerns that this may not make it as high. And if it doesn't, it's going to be a full collapse. Because overall, this is an uptrend, but we're building a potential bearish structure. If we break this low, that is almost guaranteed to create a lower low. It'll come down pretty hard. Like probably here. Like it could be pretty violent, right? Which could be the pump and dump setup, right? We could be pumping on the Friday, setting up that massive kind of early structure dump. Now, why I said I don't know is this red box, for people wondering who weren't on early, because I know some people got in kind of late, this was developed within our pre-market session. So why I put that red box there is a lot of people don't know this. When you are on futures, there's always contract changes. I trade MNQ1 exclamation, which is going to blend in the contracts. I like it because I get to see everything. I have this right here, which is the BADJ, the adjustment for contract changes. I have it off. So when you have it off, it's going to give you that smooth out. That shows this is our all-time high. Notice when I click it, now, ooh, that's the all-time high. See how it changes, right? Because this, if you notice when it pushed, was right around a contract change, right? So that when it changed, it just spiked, dropped, and then as it blended in, it found its way. And so that's why you guys, if your lines are slightly off on mine, that might be why. Either I have that on or I have that off. But to me, the reason why I don't look at this often, Cody I know uses it quite a bit. There's no really right or wrong way as long as the TA is there. But I told y'all yesterday or in the day before, like we don't really have anything to measure how high we're gonna go. There's nothing. There's no trend line. I mean, I could fib out. There's things to do, but from how I teach it, there's really not anything, right? Okay, I'll finish this and then you can tell me. But if I press that and I have a new high, now I can say, oh, now I know why, right? So with that being my new high, I will share with you a little secret sauce that was built in the mentor group that I ran a lot of backtesting, and there seems to be a correlation with $50 away from things like all-time high or prior day, right? Those are the two that I notice work the most. So if that is my new all-time high, right, from the original, just that contract play, I took that and I did a $50 drop, and I created a red zone. This creates a no trade zone for me. Anywhere near it's kind of a no trade zone for me. And that's what I was joking about, how fascinating it is that there's nothing that shows it should have stopped there, right? We pull up all of our indicators, there's nothing. There's like, we're in la la land. We're above all the MAs, we're above everything, but you could argue that maybe there's a fib that you drew or something like that, right? That's how we do the extensions, but there's really nothing, and yet we still rejected damn near within a dollar or two off of our $50 box. So I love to see this continue to be viable. Remember my concern, guys, and you can see it's starting to play out. This is a double touch off the 200 push. It showed its first sign of weakness, meaning it's not as strong as people are going to probably think, but it did flip into an absorption, which created that it does have some strength, right? So as that's pushing up, and I can take a quick scalp here and there, it doesn't really give me a lot of hope that we're just exploding, right? And you can see that lower high broke down. So my concerns were pretty valid, right? To not trade too much into these areas. Now, how we can continue to show strength to finally get us to explode if we want to is within the micro, right? Even the 1 minute here, we came down, we retested that neckline, we retested the RB, and we created an absolute absorption hammer to the north. Now, that doesn't mean we're going long. What it means is it sets our high, it sets our low, and a close above that is likely going to push pretty hard, right? If we come down and we break down and we come down and we wick this and close below that, it's going to likely push down pretty hard, right? In full collapse. So I did a class last night, and again, back on the mentoring. This was not a development class. This is solely for mentoring. And we went deep into patterns and candle logic, because candles need to do certain things if it's showing certain structures. And if you see it do opposite things, it's not likely the right structure, right? This is a pretty clear bearish structure. We swept the hell out of it and absorbed back in. Doesn't really scream bearish, right? Now we could drop again, which would arguably play that out, but these are usually either reversal or continuation style plays, and that just doesn't look like a lot of strength with the bears there, right? And so now, this is why again I'm not eager to push the button again right now. Our bulls are not showing a lot of strength, but our bears are creating micro patterns that are not showing a lot of strength. Now it's not invalidated yet, right? We just have the high low, but we did, if you look at it, right, we did have the absorption north, and we did get the close above, which was a close above our breach wick on Lisma. That should have just went to there. I mean, it shouldn't even have hesitated. So even though we have this, bulls aren't looking quite as strong as they're leading out to be. So my eagerness to get long scalps is a little worrisome, right? But we compare that to the fact that the bears weren't even strong enough to let this play out and hold it for more than 15 seconds before jumping it. So it definitely means that the bears are not strong enough to really push us either. And so you kind of get where I'm going with it. This is where you're going to see things from Neo that says the market's kind of conflicting itself. I see whatever. Because we have certain things that are bearish that should have played out that didn't, and we have certain things that are bullish that are kind of playing out, but they're not very strong, right? The reason why I say kind of playing out is this is our neckline, right, for our push. This is our high of what that absorption candle I love to watch, and this is our ORB. When we swept all of those, we reclaimed it instantly. Didn't even get a close, and we have not been able to breach it again. So we are still neckline holding of a potential double bottom, which leans more north than south, but we're seeing micro bearishness that could go into that reversal, right? So that's why I just keep watching this. If this were to break this trend and we just jump, that has to have enough steam to breach like this, because the 1 minute is holding a bullish potential, right? So I would take something like that doji, a close above that will likely give pretty good propulsion, right? Then I go into the buy macro. You got a hammer, pretty good absorption. Close above that is going to be continuation. Close below that is going to be drop, right? So I'm always breaking everything down. Macro, 1 minute, 15-second. I never stop doing it. I don't care if I'm in a trade or not. I'm always going to be analyzing. What I need to keep pushing, whether it's open session or development or mentor, is you guys need to know that it's not always a good time to trade. If one is conflicting south, showing weakness in the drop, and then one is conflicting north, showing weakness in the push, I mean, you don't really know which way it's going to go, right? And neither one of them are showing strength, right? And so now I may take risks at times on one that is leaning more than the other, like on things like DOM jumps, bounces, things like that, just because I only need a short movement with the strategy I'm doing today. But does that make sense, guys? Like, kind of, I'm breaking it down. I know it sounds like a lot, but it's really the same thing that I'm doing every day, repeatable, right? It's just a lot of things within it. But any questions on all that, how that's broken down? No. Okay. Do me a favor, please, guys, when we go forward, if able. I know so many of you are working and can't talk and all that, and that's cool. And maybe you don't have questions. Just throw like a thumbs down or something, or thumbs, up, or so that way at least I know. No more questions? Cool. All right. At least y'all understand and you're there, and I'm not just talking to myself. All right. Lots of thumbs up. Cool. Appreciate it. So I will never go in here and go, I want to hear from every one of you because some of you guys, are working and all that things, right? But just give me a little acknowledgement sometimes, because otherwise I'm just going to assume you know it. And so, we are 10:30, guys. I do want to hard stop it at 11. Fridays I don't like to trade long, and so even the development session, we'll go to 1 if it's got good movement and people are still trading. But Fridays are usually the days that if we're good, we're just good, and I'm done.
I like Nick that you don't yell at us when we don't comment all the time.
If you guys don't start talking up, I'm just gonna. Never mind.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. I don't have my face well. Okay, now say all that.
If you guys don't start talking and answering my questions,
all right. Oh, you guys kill me. I will leave that as no comment because I don't have to comment to know. But yeah. Hopefully that all makes sense, guys. We are perching here. We do have a bullish candle. It's suggesting more of a push. Again, anything above this neckline is likely suggesting more of a push than a pull. You just want to make sure the DOM continues to support that as you're taking them. So when you have this, we have the hammer. Any close above that should push it. We never really got the confirmation that I would have liked, because remember, you got a breach wick here. We never got to close above the doji or above the Lisma. So that close above here is what I'm looking for to push there. If that can close above there and push straight there, that shows strength. And we are definitely not going down. Right. And so that's what I'm looking at mostly. And so let me see something. Yeah, so we're pressuring. The DOM is jumping, guys, so be careful on shorts. All right. Off the bottom here, it was a little early, but I only need $5. I took that one. It domed me out, and then on the push here, let's see. So I'm at 1509. So almost there. I would love to get all 3 of these today. I'll probably try to. Good, bad, or ugly, right? But because, man, like I said, even if I don't get a payout from it, if I can just get these 3 through the intraday, that sets me up for Sunday Asia, which I know is a great session always. We're almost always green. I could kill it Sunday. And then Monday is like guaranteed big payout, right? And so, because anything I make from there is mine. So, we're getting that push, right? So remember, this should push us up to there on that. And so let me look at it. Yeah. There's the push up to there. So that one hit my TP. I'm only 1 in Q now, so I'm only at 1610. So I need 5 more. That's why I break it down. I won't go into it because, again, the mentor thing, but I kind of taught them how to break it down through the psychological side of it. So you're not thinking of things like dollars and all that, right? And it tends to help, right? Yeah, right. And so, yeah. So, and that's the thing, guys. With when I'm doing the mentoring, it's I talk with everybody before they come in, and I always will stand by this, that it's not just like, I don't want anybody thinking, oh man, Nick's gonna be my mentor, sweet. He's just gonna tell me when to go in, when to go out. Not necessarily. My goal and job as a mentor is to teach you how to trade, to make sure you have as many tools at your disposal as you can to be successful. See how I was saying, close above, boom. Anybody take that long there? I only did 2, and then I'm not doing it anymore.
Just scalped it,
Yeah.
and
Cool.
a good $80.
Nice.
I got one myself.
Awesome. Good job. But yeah, my goal in the mentor part, and I do this even more so than in the development program, is not only the teaching you how to trade, but teaching you all the tricks and things that I can do or help you with to get through the emotional part. And that's the hardest part about trading, is the emotional part. So it just is. And so I do a little in the development, but like mentoring is, like, they all know, like I deep dive into that pretty hard. And so, yeah. But anyway, so let's go back to the analytics of it. Remember, I was saying probability wise, we look more long. Y'all see why I'm not really eager to take shorts. Remember, we were saying there was weakness in the bearish structure. That shouldn't have happened. Sweep like that, close above, usually goes up. That's why I would have not taken that short. A lot of retail probably would have been like, oh, that's super weak. We're going. This is a bearish structure. And they're short, and they're getting their ass whooped right now. Let's be honest, right? A lot of us would have been. The funny part is, too, it's not as similar, but do you guys notice in the mentor group kind of similarities in this structure? Push, down, push, rounded, close below, break. Never mind, we're going up big. Did you even notice that, Cuddy? I know you've been really studying it, or Ryan. It's not exact, but it's similar.
It's very similar, yeah.
Push, down, push, low, hold the low, came below it, close, should have fell.
Goes below it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You think we're going to the ORB?
So what ends up happening with these structures, guys, is a lot of times only specific to the structure, not talking about that high. We will push, and then we tend to maybe pull a little, and then it kind of blows off top, and then it comes back, and then it's going to kind of trend, and it's going to kind of hold above that if it plays out to be. And it's not exact like I would normally call this, so I don't know for sure that's going to happen, but that's how it reacts. Then this is where people get messed up, because you take the short with even a defensive or a ladder style strategy, and this used to get me even. And you're up here going, all right, we got a little pullback, sweet, adding my DCA. And then you get stuck in a 3-hour trend like this. And you're just watching it the entire day going, why is this not breaking down? And your reasoning for the breakdown is way back there, even though you're in a thing way up here. And you're still confused and you refuse to close it. I've been there, lived it, done it. And that's why this kind of structure haunts me, right? Because it's caught me so many times. Now, how that structure plays, this top becomes very important. Because whether it's here, 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 on the breakdown, and we breach that top, that move is just violent. Right? Absolutely violent. So, which could be what's setting up maybe the pump and dump, right? Maybe we hold this and try to pump it, or maybe we break it here soon and we just dump it, right? I don't know. So we'll see. Again, it's not as pretty as I would liked it, but the logic's similar. So let's see if we hold this high. Push, a hold of here with the doji, close above, that's your guys' continuation all day. Now, here's my concern, right? You have EU high and London high here, which should lock in a little bit. You have our secondary all-time high, we'll call it, up here. We have our box right there. We have our prior high right there. none of that for me screams, man, I'm just going to go long. And that's my FOMO that I've squashed, because I can call it and go, man, based on all this, the structure, even what I just told you, we hold here, close above, like we're mooning, right? But it doesn't mean I like it. It doesn't mean I want to take it. It doesn't mean I'm willing to risk my $1,600 that on this one account that I pushed through my intraday on it. It's not a high probability setup. To me, it's more like a lottery ticket type of setup, because when it does play out well, it explodes. And those are the ones where you're just like, I'm going to take this account and I'm going to just YOLO it, and you do the volume and trail it, and that's where you catch those really big, like $50 to $100 moves. And but it's also, it moves like that because it's uh, jumping right to either wreck people or to like stop hunts liquidity, or to bait people, right? And so now that's where it gets more lottery ticket, because I know, like I just said, this high is really important. So if we sweep and end up in an absorption south and breach that high, now we have an absorption south close below, it's going to dump super hard. And so it's just not a very high probability area. Almost every trade I've taken, not all, but most, have been either on these today, uh, based on a pull and like a pull and a push. So I'll give you all a little secret sauce of it. I teach the development this, but more mentor. We have studied and studied and studied, and when we create, let me just do this for the sake of it. So when I create compression like that, that's what we refer to it. Y'all learn if you're in TikTok on that. I don't care what you call it, distribution, accumulation, compression, whatever. Uh, I understand distribution, accumulation are high low kind of things, but consolidation, I don't care what you call it. We refer to it as compression in our courses a lot, and so that's why I say that. But what we found is the logic of that is whatever candle closes below or outside of it, it's going down. It closes above it, it's going up. That's the simple logic of it, right? Now, what I teach on the little secret sauce is kind of a little not that simple. So when this is like that and we get a close here, but the close is more of a hammer, right? Not just a solid body good close. And there's some support near. When it breaks south and it reclaims that high, just like I showed you all earlier, that move is just nasty, right? It just goes. And that is our bear trap into our true move, right? And so there's ways to identify that I work with the mentor group on. And it's pretty cool, like how often that plays out. And it played out earlier, right? When we were talking about it. Where was it? Back here. Where was it? Right here, right? So we kind of swept it, and then the reclaim. Now it's a little sticky because it's still near open, but you can see the sweep. We went up, right? As long as we stayed above that, no chance I'm shorting, no chance, right? And there's no coincidence that this sweep wick hit right there before it jumped, right? It swept into the high, couldn't quite get to the low, right? Because you got the high low, and it absorbed back above. That shows strength and not weakness. So pretty cool how that plays out, though, huh, guys? Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Again, you guys see the long that I was calling would be playing out good. And there's the explosion I was waiting for. Man, that would have been real good. But, this is where my FOMO's got to be squashed. I can't look at that.
Dude, that trailed me. It trailed me out a second before that pop happened.
See, I was waiting. Remember, I was telling y'all when this does this, it tends to pop. So I could have took it, but it's a lottery ticket play, right? Because when it does it, you're banking on that big move. Now this one only went, 30, right? But it may not be done too, right? But, I mean, shoot, I could look at that and go, man, I only need $500 more, 2 NQ, $30. Whew, man, I could be already done with my intraday, and then I could have logged out, and I could have been done, and it's a Friday, and why didn't I take that? Man, I called that. Oh, man. Like, you see the pressure I'm putting on myself? Y'all do it. Everybody does it. I've done it. I still do it at times, but I try to squash it. I could be done with this. I could be through my intraday, done with my day, done one trade. I called it. Y'all seen me do it in front of you here, but I didn't take it, and I have to just be okay with that, right? Because if I get all that pressure on me, guess what I'm gonna try to do? What do you think I'm gonna do? Try to do for my next trade? I'm gonna. It starts with an F. I like to give you guys a little bit. What am I gonna do with that trade?
You're gonna force that
I'm
trade.
gonna force it. Cause now I'm gonna be like, all right, you know what? Fool me once, Mr. Market. All right, and remember, mind you, a lot of retail, a lot of you guys are always trying to get tops and bottoms all the time. So now I'm like, all right, serious business. I'm gonna get this done now since I missed that. Close above, I'm going long. Close below, I'm going short. All right, sweet. About to close. All right, bam, in. I'm in. I'm going, and I ignore all the other warnings that I had, and then it just sweeps you down, and you're like, shit, and then you lose that account. And then I look and I go, why did that, like, what? And I go, oh, I broke the high and I broke back in it. I didn't even notice. So now that flipped to resistance instead of support. And you get blindsided by it because you got tunnel vision on being upset if you miss one trade. So this thing could freaking jump to 27.5 and I really wouldn't care. It just really wouldn't bother me. I mean, I'll look at it and be like, dang, but it doesn't bother me, right? If I didn't anticipate a move, we had a move in the pre-market that I sat down. I didn't even really look at the market. We were talking about something, and I was kind of anticipating a move north, but it just jumped out of nowhere. Like, what was it, guys? Like $50, like out of nowhere in like seconds. And I didn't take it. I don't think anybody took it because it didn't meet anything I was reading, and it didn't anticipate it, right? And again, guys, this is an absolute no trade zone for me. No trade zone, right? Normally, I would, on the way out, I would take a short scalp, blow off top, right? You can maybe take a long, but this is no trade zone because we don't really know what that's going to do. But I told them all, like, I don't care that I didn't take it. I mean, it met all my rules. We had an idea we were going long, but I still didn't take it because I didn't anticipate it. I didn't sit here and go, all right, this looks like we might pull, like if I'm building this, I'm going to say, okay, we got a prior high. We got the prior high right here. If I get a sweep here and it bounces there, right? Let's say this red box is not there. On the reclaim of that high, and I get a close, I'm in. Like, see how I'm anticipating it. If this comes down here and I breach there and I get a close into there, right, do I have enough room before the next possible bounce? Maybe I look at it and I say, you know what? This has moved really far multiple times, right? We've seen it multiple times. So this looks like a better area for me to get my $5 movement, $10 movement, or whatever I'm trying to get for my plan today. So now I'm building a what's my safer play would be down here, let Lisma come up, give me a breach wick, close below, and then I'm in, right? Then I look at the area that I'm deciding, and I see, is there any concerns on any of my charts, right? So if I breach here, right, I'm pretty OA to there. So that would put me there. If I breach wick here, close below there, I'm pretty OA to there. Now it's like a $30 movement. So depending where we close, I got plenty of room to get my $5. If I want to get to an OA of here, I'd have to breach wick that, close, and then that's a really good drop, like $50 or more. So then I would go to my other chart and say, well, where would that put me? Breach wick there. It's pretty close to the ORB. So maybe I determine that breach wick, close below there. Maybe there's enough room. Like, you see how I'm kind of like, I'm multi-time frame looking at my risk, my reward, where's my safer play? And I promise you, there's not many people that look at it the way I do like that, because I self-taught myself with it, and it's just how I look at it, right? And as retail, many of you guys in the room, whether you're in the room or on TikTok, you guys are all guilty of it at some point, or maybe still. We just get hyper focused on what the candles are doing, maybe a pattern, a structure, a trend line, and I just go, oh, you know what, guys, close below here, I'm down. You know, I'm in. Close above here, I'm in. Like, we stick to one rule and we just get hyper focused, and we see every trade as the same trade, and it's not the same, right? Look at this indicator here, which I love, it's flow trading. This is probably one of my favorite ones. Which is funny. The code is decent, but this is probably, I don't know, Paul's the code guy, but I think this is arguably one of our smaller codes, right? But it's so cool because it just shows me where do I have resistance or support or even compression. Shoot, remember the other day, they were all like in a tight range of like this. And I'm like, this is easy. We break above that, we're going up. Break below that, we're going down. I mean, it just literally showed me the compression in it, right? But I'm looking for what is my concerns if we begin to go short, and what is my concerns if we begin to go long. So it really kind of breaks it all down for me. But guys, we got 15 minutes left. I'm not going to take another trade until we get into open session. I will not trade in here. That is one of my rules that I stick to. Because if I take a trade in here and I'm wrong and I blow what I worked on all session, I will be pretty pissed off because I know that I've told myself I don't do that, right? And so that will ruin my weekend. If I break an account, I break an account. I don't get emotional with that. But if I break an account going against rules that I know, that I thought, that I have in place, then I'm mad, right? Because I'm mad at myself because I knew better, right? So, but thoughts, guys, I want to leave time, 10, 13 minutes. If there's no questions, thoughts, anything extra, then we might just shut it down a little early and make sure we go into the thing on time.
Hey, Nick, how much is that mentorship program?
Just schedule to talk to me. Let's talk.
Okay.
You already have my number anyways. You can just call.
Yeah, I do. Okay.
Let's see. No questions? We good? You want to share P&Ls? Oh, go ahead.
Did you want to fix it?
Yeah.
Right click on the crosshair thing, top left. There you go, turn it off on the bottom.
Oh, you're right. I would have never found that. Because I was looking either chart or maybe here or settings or yeah, but you're right. Now I remember. Okay. Appreciate it, because that drives me absolutely insane.
I'll share my P&L. On a new eval, I made $958 on the open swing, and on my other funded accounts, trading two micros, I'm at 97.40 right now.
That's a good day for you, man. Congrats.
Yeah. Thanks, bud.
You know what I'm already about to say? Just, the one you did really well, I would kill that one and stop.
Yeah, for sure.
If you want to jump to another one, cool. But do not, you and me and all of us in here have lived it where we go, it's Friday and I'm so close, I'm just going to push it. And then it goes bad and then you just ruin your entire weekend. Right? Like I said, I have a my funded account that I'm through the intraday. I could just have traded that one. Think, guys, I made 700 because I was at 9. 700 more on the other intraday when I flipped. I could have just did it on the one that's payable, made 700, and I'd have 700 minus the 90% of it in my bank today. But I know all too well not to ruin my Friday. All too well. Been there, done that, right? Now, what would cause me to try to do it is, let's say we go to development and I get done with my second one and I get done with my third one and I got time left, I might take a little bit of a swing or a risk on my one of them, because I've got 3 of them. If I break one, whatever, I got 2, we're still good. But if I only got 1 through the intraday and I don't have the other 2, no way in holy hell I'm touching that account until either Sunday or I get these other 2 there. So these are just disciplinary things you guys gotta create. You see why I'm not a big fan of trading in here? See what I was saying about the structure? It's playing out pretty well. We have that. We held above. We swept, held that low, got the close above. It should push in there. The only thing that made me stop from taking that, I normally would have, because shit, we called when it came here on the micro, this push here, close above, is going to test the UI. It's just going to chase that liquidity. So again, I could have finished all my intraday stuff just taking little scalps north on that whole play. But I do not take longs in this area. And I'm not interested in taking shorts until I start to see more bearish things play out. So, any other questions, thoughts, guys? Appreciate it. P&Ls, anybody else want to share? You all want to at least put a thumbs up if you were green. Love to see how many of you were green. Just curious. Okay, good deal. I was say just Bobby. Shit, man. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. Like, look, and it could be because I'll tell you. Go ahead.
I got my goal on my Lucid, so I should get a payout for this week.
That's like your 8th, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look,
Like
I'm not even playing, man. I'm gonna go on and find a company that's gonna build a statue of Cody, and I'm putting it on my front lawn.
Hey, Cody, you better slow down, man. You're gonna put them out of business.
I know they're gonna flag me.
Yeah, gonna change their rules then. Mess it up for us.
Yeah, this dude's too good. And again, I don't want to, beat that dead horse on it because I think we've lifted Cody high enough on a pedestal. He's concerned of breathing in altitude, but it is literally one of the coolest freaking things to see because, again, the old summary of the story, 2 years no payout, and he's on his 8th in a row.
I'm still pretty skeptical about all of it.
No, what you are is you're being humble. Remember what we talked about on the phone? I'm like, remember what did I tell you on the very first payout when you're like, man, I got the payout, and I'm like, what were the first words out of my mouth mostly?
Yeah, stay humble.
Be humble. Don't get too excited, right? And so you may see it as skepticism. Maybe it's not real. Fear, nervousness. It's really not, probably. It's you are just not affected by it, and you're like, got the payout. It's working out. I'm gonna stay humble. I'm gonna stay calm. I'm gonna keep my emotions, collected. And if you recall, and again, this is all you, right? Because you got to figure it out. You finally figured it out. Remember how many times I told you that? Like, I can teach you, I can show you, I can talk about it, but you got to figure it out, right? So the achievement is yours. But if you remember, when I told you that first payout, I said, stay humble. Here's some things. Here's some guidance. This is what I do. And I promise you, now that you've kind of broke that seal, right? Like, they're going to keep coming if you do these things, right? And so I love that you took a lot of that to heart, it seems, at least. And it shows because you're on 8 payouts in a row. Like, that's insane. To think about that, 8 week guys, think about that in the logic, right? 2 months. He went 2 years without a payout, and now he's 2 months straight without not getting a payout. And I'm not trying to jinx you, Cody. You're probably like, dude, you better be knocking on wood. Let me hold on. That's fine.
No, I mean, I've blown accounts. Don't get me wrong.
But you're treating it like a business, right?
Yeah.
Now you have money in, so you're able to take risks. I blow accounts. Shit, I blew a couple of them this week, right? Just because I have payouts.
Yeah, well, it does make the evals easier because I can take a more risk and pass them in 2 days because I have something coming in that I can be like, well, I'll buy a couple evals this week since I got a payout this week, and I feel pretty good about it,
Yeah, and because your mindset changes, right? Now it's like cost of doing business. So, but I don't know, man. Like I said, that's it's exciting, and the beauty of it is, to throw you out a counter jinx, at some point you're gonna break them. You might even break all of them, right? It's just gonna happen. But at least you've seen how the success works. You've seen how the consistency works. And you have a lot of money that came in that now you can just rebuild it, right? So it shouldn't break you emotionally. I mean, I've broken, many accounts, and I've broken a good amount in one day because I'm like, I've gotten a bunch of payouts. I'm going to just swing, whatever. I mean, the dumbest thing I ever did is a long time ago when I think I got up to like 10 PAs, and I got a little overzealous. This was early on in the prop firm world, and kind of went down that rabbit hole of revenge trading, and I broke all 10 in one day. It was so stupid, and you just sit there going, and usually it ends up on those days where top and bottom trader, right? I'm like, it fell, should bounce. Nope, fell more again. Let me piggyback that. Put in another one. Nope, fell again. Oop, that one broke. It's got to go up. Let me piggyback that. Like that, you get into such a bad rabbit hole of that, right? And but the beautiful thing in trading is, which is funny. My son actually is the one that said this when we were talking about it a long time ago. He's like, that's the best part about trading is you can lose everything one week and be completely good the next. Right? Every day is different, and I've seen that. I've gone weeks without payouts, and you're losing things, and you're whether you're busy or whatever you're doing, and then you're just like, dang, like man, what changed? Like I'm not getting these payouts, and then all of a sudden the next month you make 20 grand, right? You're like, okay, we're back on track, right? What is lost? That's the beauty of prop firm world, guys. What is lost can be regained. It's just a fact. Now it's different when it's real money. When what is lost is just lost. You ass out. You better go get some more money, right? And that's what I love about prop firms. So, and that's why it cracks me up when people, if you're so good, why aren't you just trading real money? Why do you even need a prop firm? I'm like, I don't need a prop firm, but why wouldn't I do it on a prop firm? Right? Why wouldn't I? Like, it's dumb. So, but good discussion, guys. Awesome job
A
as
lot
always,
less
man.
emotional when you're trading someone else's money.
A lot. Oh yeah, I've had one-on-ones even recently where they're like, man, I cannot pass something or break something, and thinking about just putting in some money in a real account and doing that. And I'm like, it's different. When I look
I
at a
mean,
P&L and go ahead.
I'd gladly give up 10%. I don't care.
Yeah.
It makes it better for me. That's the way I feel right now, anyway.
Oh yeah. And think about it. When I'm negative 500 or $1,000 on a prop firm, I'm like, I don't even care. But when I'm on real money and I look over and I'm negative 1,000 or 2,000 because I was wrong and I have margin to try to fight it, you sweat a bit. You're like, that's actually $2,000 that I'm down. Like, ooh, I got to figure this out, cut it, kill it, redo it. Like, it just, the emotions are so different. It's so
Until
different.
you're on like day 5 on the prop firm, it's not really anything but $100. In my brain, that's the way I see it. But
I agree, and that's the way I go with it as well. And we talked about that a lot in the mentor program on that psychological side as well. So, guys, awesome job. Do me a favor. Many of you are doing really good at it, and I do appreciate it. You know, and many of you in here, I see some people dropped off, which is fine. It's Friday. I would expect it. Many of you in here have been with me for a bit, and I appreciate the extra help y'all doing by posting P&Ls, kind of typing things in here, as well as with TikTok and all the socials. This industry is a difficult industry to push through, right? Because the lack of transparency, trust, scams, everything that goes on, right? And so it does help with that, so people can see it's legit and it's real when you guys do that. But also it helps me, because I look at something and I'm going to say like, here, like, love, Bobby, all you guys are doing this, right? But when I look, another solid day, sweet, after payout, oh, let me look what he did. Dang, okay, you did this, like I can look at it and now I know, okay, Bobby's getting it, right? Now, I'm cool if Bobby throws a red day up here. I don't care if you throw 2-3 red days up here, because now guess what that does in my mind? I'm going to go, dang, okay, Bobby's struggling a little bit. I feel like I called it pretty clear. I think my TA was pretty good. Might want to reach out to Bobby and figure out, like, what did we miss? Was it something I said that you interpreted different? Was it something that, and more times than not, just to be honest, when I reach out like that, people go, no, you were like long all day and don't go short, and then I took a short and wrecked it, and I'm like, because then it's like, okay, that happened, right? And we can work through it, but at least I know it's not me giving guidance that you're misinterpreting, right? And so that's why all y'all in here know, there ain't no simple answer in my brain, and I overanalyze everything. But I like to see that, because if I don't see it, just I'm assuming y'all are killing it. Like, you all got payouts coming in daily, right? Because I don't know if you do or don't. Now I know not everybody likes to share red P&Ls, and you don't have to, right? You know, if you don't want to share it in the community chat, you know, shoot, maybe make a support ticket, something, or just something to let me know that you had a red day. Now, my ask is, because people do this a lot, is don't make a support ticket and go, yep, had a red day, lost 3 evals, and just leave it at that. Because I'm like, why did we lose 3 evals? Like, give me like something, like maybe, pretty sure I was over leveraging, or you said don't go short and I took the short, or like something, right? Now, if you already self-identify it, you don't really have to feel like you have to tell me, right? But if it's happening regularly, you might want to say something so I know. I can't fix what I don't know. So, but appreciate you guys all doing that. It's awesome. You know, we haven't done any deep marketing in this company because we have a lot of things that were built in a short amount of time, and I'm very impressed with Alex on the amount of pieces on the table that we have and how minimal the errors or things that break are. Overly impressed. If y'all knew what goes on behind the scenes, you know, between Alex and even what Paul's put together with it, and so really cool. But you know, as we grow Neo, we get him more consistent. Make sure he's stable. The trading courses, all these things, as they kind of get more in place, at some point we'll begin to market a little bit more. But you guys are doing awesome. I don't know. This is our 3rd week together, trading, and I don't think the only really difficult days, and correct me if I'm wrong, because this is where my mind goes with it. We've had a few difficult TA days, whether it's the day, whether it's development, whether it's open session, but pretty sure, and correct me if I'm wrong, but each of those difficult days, I started out by saying, our pre-market seen this, and this shit's about to be a difficult day. Right? And so we're gonna have difficult days. Go ahead.
It was difficult.
I think yesterday I kind of said that to you. I'm like, it's gonna be a difficult day, and and that's the thing is I'm not always gonna be right. I'm gonna always find ways to keep it consistent, repeatable, and easily translated. But y'all just gotta remember, not every day is the same. Some days you can swing, some days you can't. Some days y'all just shouldn't trade. Look at Bobby killing it over here. You have one more day till you get two payouts. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, I love Lucid. These new rules are just
so good.
Yeah, I just need like $100, $200. You don't need a lot of money. Once you get your first payout, and they leave 50% of the money in there for you. Normally, you would take it all, right?
Yeah.
So now you just need another $1,000 in 5 days. I mean, that's.
I always laugh and that's awesome, man. I love. Again, I would never know that you're doing that, right? And because if what I'm teaching is working for you, or the tools that we have is working for you, or just your knowledge of how you're interpreting it is working for you, I want to know, right? Because I want to keep pushing or hounding on those things. I don't want to change it, right? And I love when you get the haters on TikTok, and you guys always see that, where they're like, oh, if you're so good, show me a month's worth of P&L, right? Like, I want to see consistent big days like that.
Yeah.
I don't need consistent big days. Like, look, y'all, this is one of my accounts for Lucid that I've gotten 2 payouts on.
Yeah.
I had one big swing for the fence day that I played out really well, and notice what I did after that. See how I like to get a $500 one in there somewhere?
Yeah, yeah.
I only need
scroll back a few days on the chat, and you'll see I did the same thing. I have like 12, 15 green days in a row. I mean, there's not one red, and a lot of them are small.
Mm-hmm. And the beauty is when I get through that swing for the fence, why would I continue to swing for the fence, guys? I have 5 weeks of damn near guaranteed payouts because I have 2 of those accounts of $3,600 every 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I swing for the fence? I don't need to. Right? And so people interpret, and this is the issue with the industry, well, if you were a good trader like you say you are, then you would be having $6,000 days consistently. Well, I don't need to have $6,000 days because, like, I mean, who in here throw the old thumbs up that $3,600 every 5 days would like change your life, like your trajectory, right? And so, right, and it's probably most people in here, right? Everybody, and so it's crazy. And so why would I risk something or try to prove myself to somebody that I know what I'm doing or I'm a good trader because, oh, this guy called me out on TikTok, I'm gonna go show him, I'm gonna do 5,000 a day. Like, I don't care what somebody says, and I don't need it, right? And I also don't need, and I know we're past our development thing again, so I'm terrible about this, but most of you in here are in that anyways. So, but I don't need 20 accounts. That $3,600 every 5 days, mostly guaranteed, if I do it right. It's off 2 accounts, guys, 2. So anybody out there pushing for you to have more than 1 or 2, likely has the follow-up of click my affiliate code.
You know what
Just
I
think,
find? I've had up to 15 Apex accounts. I've been doing this a few years with you guys. I've blown 15 accounts in a weekend, with Apex. But every time I get past 10 accounts, I start getting too aggressive and I don't treat them with respect anymore.
I do that too.
So my sweet spot is like I love Lucid because I use that as my humble platform and I trade it lightly because you don't need to trade it heavy and you only get 5 accounts.
Yeah.
Apex, I have between 5 and 10 pay accounts. Every time I blow 1 or 2, I add it back on, but it's getting expensive. So, but I noticed when I'm down to 3 or 4 Apex accounts or 3 or 4, that's when I do my best because I focus in more, I respect them more.
Yep.
So but in the beginning you want to like, oh, I could do 10, 20 and I can make 40, 50 grand a month. That's, you got to like put that in check unless you're linking accounts. I don't think you need
And I do not
personally
like linking them like
5.
that.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with you, and I've lived it. So I can't tell you. I haven't told. Well, I've told some people along the way, but when I was doing it, I can't tell you how many times I got to 20 accounts in Apex, and I would go right back to 15 within a pretty short time, within a day or a couple of days. Because, like you said, it changes it. I'm like, oh, I got 20. I'm good. Let's swing. Oh, broke it. It's not really revenge trading because I'm at 19. Like, I'm willing, and then you convince yourself like, I'm willing to risk 5 of these accounts because I still have 15, right? You do all the math in your head, whatever. And so you literally, I can't tell you how many times I went 20, 15, 20, 18, 17, 15, 20, 15. And then, like you said, now you're chasing accounts because you have this, gotta have 20 accounts, right?
Yeah.
I don't have to have anything, right? Like Lucid, I have 2 accounts. I typically do them in pairs. If you guys notice, I typically share 2. I actually do my fundeds in pairs too. I have 3 because one of them broke, right? Is why I only have 3. But now I have those 3 to piggyback. But it, I'm not sitting there going like, I got 3,600 in my bank from yesterday, the second one from Lucid, and you would think, and I used to do this, some of y'all probably do it, is I go, ooh, guess what I'm going to do? I got 2 Lucids, I'm going to go get 3 more. And I'm going to force it because if I got, 1,800 times 2, 36, ooh, man, imagine if I did that times 5.
Yeah.
Times
That's what
5
happened.
is going to
Start doing the
be...
math.
And then I'm like, oh yeah. And then I start forcing it, broke that one. I'm good, man. I got 36 tries. I can do this. And then you break that one, break that one, break that one. Then you start sweating and you're revenge trading. And next thing you know, you broke 36 of them. And you're like, and you broke the ones that were giving you money in the first place. And now you have nothing because you went down a rabbit hole chasing more than what you needed, right? And that's part of the be humble in trading. Be humble in the market. Do not care what people tell you. Don't listen to the trolls. Don't listen to people that say things that are too good to be true because it is a 100% lie. I don't put 100% on a lot of things, but it's 100% lie. Always be humble in what the market gives you. Always be patient. Always trade within your skill level. Never try to chase something. Understand that you don't have to overcomplicate trading. You guys, many of you, like you said, Bobby, you've been around forever. You've seen me do these things some of you for years, right? And my method is, I don't know, I don't like ever to say there's not anybody out there doing it the way I'm doing it, but I haven't seen it. And I don't know if any of you've seen it. Maybe you can tell me, like, as far as the overall way I look at it, right, and interpret it. I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
And so.
No, the industry wants you to believe like you got to be a math scientist, a whiz to have all these indicators, but like you said, find something that works, keep it simple. Don't change too much. If you got something that works, let it ride for a while, master it. Like even with, we've got so many indicators, and I focus now a lot on that block. The trap one is
so good.
If you couple that with, you still need the 200, the EMAs and the Lisman, stuff like that, but you couple that one with just the basic trend lines and stuff that you do, and that's more than enough, and then the rest is just emotional management.
Remember the trap one that we were identifying, guys, from the pre-market group? I mean, look at that. Just freaking played out. Now, these are ones that validated and invalidated, right? Because they were so tight, near a range, like I kind of said that they probably would. And then, so you can't just use it by itself. Like you said, you got to know. But yeah, that's I had one person when I was live, they were like, and I love, me, I love to overthink words used, right? And so they're like, so you claim to be a good trader. What do you got, a finance degree? No.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I don't. And they're like, oh, okay. So like, did you major in economics? No, I actually didn't even go to college. And they're like, there's no chance you're good at trading. Okay. I don't argue with trolls. Okay. I don't have to prove anything to anybody. All I care about is the people that I pause, because when I think about why I'm trading, why I'm doing this, right? From an order of the flow of things, right? My primary reason for doing this is my family. Period. Right? My kids. I'm trying to be the one to change a trajectory of their life, whether it's financially or learn a skill that I can teach them that will change it's generational, guys. They teach their kids, like somebody in your family tree, if you guys came across money, is that person that took a risk and put in the time and effort to learn something to change their entire generational trajectory, right? And that's my high priority, why I did it. That's why I started it. It will always be that. The secondary below that is my only priority. The only thing I have to prove to anybody is people that are in here, the community, right? The community, the mentor group, those people are the secondary most important. So trolls on TikTok, people that comment. That's why I love some of y'all came to my defense. You're like, he does this every, shut up. Like, Cody was probably wanting to type, I'm gonna punch you in the face. I'm not doing it TikTok. I forgot I'm still on there. It's hypothetical. But it doesn't bother me because I don't have to prove anything to anybody, right? And anybody that's like, well, show me your bank statements and then I'll join your, like, okay, I'm not doing that, so just don't join. Doesn't hurt my feelings. Now, if you guys are in here and you're like, go ahead.
That guy was like, well, if you can't show it on here, I'm like, just go to the website. No, I ain't doing that. And then I just
wasting my time with that.
Whatever.
No chance I'm paying free. Anyways, that's why I leave the open session for you guys, because I believe that things need to be proven through what you see, what you read, right? And so, but like if you guys are all in here and I'm guiding you and I'm giving you tools, and everybody in here is like, not green today, got wrecked today, got this today, or something's not playing out, or I'm doing something wrong, or maybe even if I'm doing it right, but you're still red, that matters to me. Like you coming back, and that's why I say about sharing wins and losses, right? Telling me, because all that I care about is y'all's success here, right? I want everybody to have that story that Cody shares, and not only Cody, Paul, right? We were talking about him too. They started about the same time, and Paul showed this thing, like he had, I don't even know how many days, like $500 in a row, like just one, consistency. And I want that for all of you, right? And so your opinions matter. Outside of that, I'll show you what I feel I need to show you, and if it's not good enough, or you're lazy and don't want to come into the room and watch on Google Meet live, I probably don't want you in here anyways, or care. But Brent, go ahead, and then let's try to get over to the development portion.
What was I gonna say?
He's like, I put my hand up 27 minutes ago. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Probably something about how, like, when I was new, I don't know how many times I said after I blew an account, right? I said, if I had just stuck to my plan and just stopped trading when I hit my goal for the day and taken small win, small win, small win, small win, and played that out over weeks or months, I wouldn't be where I am right now, which is, 75 accounts in. So if you're like, if anyone's new and you're like, I just keep blowing accounts, well, you're probably setting a goal, hitting it, and then going, oh, I'll keep pushing it because I'm seeing it today. But
100%
we've all been there where it's like I'm seeing it until I'm not, and then I got to know when to walk. Like was said earlier, know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run.
Exactly. It's a big step of growth, right? To be able to do that. But anyways, guys, it was pretty cool to see. Like I said, I didn't expect it to be an easy day, but it was pretty cool to see the traps play out like I thought they would. The bear traps. I mean, for the most part, from the way I read it and the way I teach it, I feel like it played out pretty well. I'm probably sure there's gonna be a lot of people on my TikTok feed that are gonna disagree and be like, "Dang, got wrecked today. What's going on? Why does this just keep going up?" So that's the funniest point, guys. And I know we just keep going, and again, most of y'all are in the development in here, anyways. But the one TikTok that I just laugh about, and he commented back on or DM me on it, is, he's an experienced trader, and he was going off about there's no way anybody could have known why we just keep climbing. The volume is low. This is shit. The news isn't that great. Like, there's no technical reason. Stop playing like y'all knew that this was gonna go up. And I'm like, should I pull the YouTube video from 2 months ago, guys? What do you think? Like, click this link, but just, I mean, I wouldn't say things like nobody, right? And so, like, there was some technical reasons, just you probably didn't understand it or know it, right? But arguably, he's probably one of those that claims he knows how to trade very well, and maybe he is a good trader, and sells people really expensive courses, but doesn't really know. So, but I don't know. I love those claims. But again, like I said, I don't have to prove anything to anybody other than people that are willing to come in and follow to take that first step, right? And I say that with that in the regards that you guys don't have to prove anything to anybody. You don't have to complicate things. You guys go to a family outing and you're like, I know how to trade, and you get some guy that comes up and throwing all the jargon and you don't understand it, and then they like to shame you, right? I get that sometimes. Like, I had a friend at softball that was like, oh man, so you know how to do this and that and this, and I'm like, nope. Thought you said you day trade. I'm like, I do. Well, like, you should know all this, right? And I'm like, no. Like, how are you profitable if you don't know this? And I'm like, because I'm an analyst. I'm a data guy. I'm analytical. I study the charts and I just play the charts. I don't need to know what's going on in the world. I just trade it where it goes. But it's so funny, So you get that, like, we move on conversations because you get that doubt of like, sure he does. All right. Anyways, let's talk about something else. I'm like, okay. I don't care what they think of me. Doesn't matter, right? As long as I'm doing well, reading it well, teaching it well, and I'm getting payouts and providing for my family, that's all I care about. So, anyways, guys, I'm going to stop the recording for that. Let's...
Can't make a higher high. Looks like a pullback incoming, maybe. Let's see.
And those are for people that don't have that on, right? That would never even know why we're stopping here. Right? We all know why we're stopping here. So, but guys, let's go into the other thing here. So I will see you guys over there. Oh man, Oops. All right. I never streamed to YouTube. Apparently, I forgot to hit the live button. My bad. Let me stop TikTok.